Welcome back to episode 6 of our Minecraft survival world. Last episode we made this pretty nifty mob spawner platform where no mobs don't spawn, it's got torches all over the place, but will be home to a mob spawner which is going to be located right here in the very centre. Currently you just have to use your imagination because we haven't built the thing. And I've decided, after giving it some thought, I want to use dark oak. It's fortunate then we know the location of a dark oak forest, and it's not that far away from our base, maybe, I don't know, 400 or 500 blocks. I mean, look at the wood type, it just looks so good. I can't wait to get my hands on it, but I'm not going to, even though I just did. Hey look, our dogs, they've returned. I knew we'd meet up with them again, and although I was tempted last episode to chop this wood, we didn't need it last episode, but I am giving in to that temptation this episode, and I'll be back, dogs. I'll be back. I need the dark oak. And is it just me, or does anyone else hate it when the ores aren't in sync? Yeah, that's better. Now, I can sense a question on the edge of your lips, and that is, Juice, if you need dark oak, why on earth are you rowing away from the forest? And to summarise, it's because I'm not of right mind, because most people would think, yeah, this diamond axe, 469 durability. I've still got a lot of durability left to get enough wood for what we need, especially one with Unbreaking 3. However, for me, I want to put in a large log harvesting session. I don't think it's good enough to get what we need just for the mob spawner. No, I want to have a reserve, like what we did with the spruce logs. Where are they? Here they are. We've still got one large chest full despite having used loads last episode, and got another large chest there, or half a large chest. And that's what I want, because if I need to call upon this spruce, bang, we have it. What's that? We need oak? Yeah, we have some in reserve here. What's that? We need mossy cobblestone? Probably won't this episode, but if we do, bam, we have some here. So that's what I want. I want to build up a reserve for if I do need more, or in the future I need more and I don't have to go harvesting it, while I'm willing to put in the effort now. The only issue is repairing the axe back to full durability, which isn't really that much of an issue. It just means we're going to have to trade with the villagers, seeing as these guys are our best form of XP farming at the moment, until we get that mob spawner. I also think it's going to be easier to pick up the XP standing behind them. There we go, a diamond axe back to full durability. See, I told you I'd be back. So, like with last episode, this harvesting session isn't going to come to an end until my axe is at 1 durability point left, and that's when I will deem it officially over. And by the end of it, we should have a lot of dark oak. In fact, there's no should about it, we will. Alright, I'm back, and we have an entire large chest of dark oak logs, plus almost another large chest of dark oak logs. It's been a really good session for harvesting the stuff. This should last us for a good amount of time, maybe 2 episodes. No, it lasts more than that, I'm only joking. We also have in this chest a few stacks of oak logs that were picked up as a byproduct of oak trees being in the area. Same with the birch logs. There weren't as many birch trees, but the ones that were in the dark oak forest I got rid of. Some oak saplings, birch saplings, a lot of dark oak saplings, and I left more than this on the floor. I figured after the second stack I didn't consciously need to make an effort to pick the stuff up, I just did naturally. We also got a few apples and then some mob drops we got from killing a few mobs when it got dark, just to repair the axe a little bit, which you may note is on 90 durability, not the 1 that I assured you it would be on. Reason being, we ran out of dark oak trees. We wiped out the entire forest completely. The biome did spread over the waters to that part of the land, but again, you can see some of the leaves there, but all of the trees have been removed from there as well. We no longer have a dark oak forest in this area. I see wiping out a biome from existence a major success in the terrestrial ecosystem of my world. The only remnants of the place are the giant mushrooms, which I would have removed, except when I tried to, as you can see by doing this, I didn't get the blocks back. I think I need silk touch. Well, I know I need silk touch. 1 red mushroom from all that, so I've left them in place to come back and remove at a later date. So you may know we've only got the 1 dog here now. That's not because the other one died. It actually made it across the water to our base, somehow following us when we were in our boat. I don't know how that happened, because this guy hasn't managed to make it across yet. There he goes, swimming in the water again. He's not going to catch up, is he? Here we go, we're back at the base, and as proof, here's his friend. I sat him over by the enchanting table. Hello, buddy. Oh, I gave him some of my food. You didn't deserve that. I only meant to stand you up. Hey. Okay, yeah. You can come out for a bit. Come on. Come for a walk. Walkies. Walkie. Okay, that's enough walkies. That's enough. Oh, on the torch. Let's move you. Yeah, nice. Now, as I said at the start of the episode, the purpose of this dark oak is to use as a building block. I did want to use it for the mob spawner up there on the mob platform. I'd also like to use some of these birch logs as well, because I feel like they offer a good contrast with the dark oak. The problem is we don't have much of the stuff. I mean, looking in the chest over at the mob spawner, we have, not the mob spawner, the mob platform. I keep saying that. I mean, we have like 5 and a bit stacks of birch logs, which should be enough. But I don't know if it will be, and I don't want to be halfway through building this thing and then get to a point, I need birch logs. If only I had another few stacks of the stuff, and I don't, and that means I have to interrupt the build, to go and find a birch forest, to go and harvest the stuff. Not ideal. Fortunately, the dark oak biome we were removing bordered onto a birch tree biome. I don't know how that happened. He hit me from front, but the arrow's in my back. Minecraft physics. Now, with the durability I have on the axe at the moment, with Unbreaking 3, we could probably get 2, maybe even 3 stacks of the log type if we were lucky. And that probably would put us over the edge for having enough of the log type for finishing the mob spawner. You know, of course, mixing it in with other wood types. However, I don't want to do that. And so I'm back over at the crop farm harvesting the wheat. Not all of it, just a portion of it. Because I need to use the wheat for trading with the villagers to repair my axe. Which the XP from the villagers does a really good job of doing. I need to go get some more emeralds. Which brings me back to my point from last video. The villagers are great for XP. I don't think I had my X on. There we go. The villagers are great for XP, but if you don't have the resources or the emeralds on you, then it's a pain to use for XP, because you have to first go gather the emeralds or the resources required for trading. There we go. Full durability axe. And I needed an axe with full durability because once again, I was going to be putting in another tree harvesting session, this time for birch wood, because after last episode where I put in a full tree harvesting session to gather spruce trees, and this episode where I've put in a full tree harvesting session to gather dark oak trees, can I really in good conscience deny myself putting in a full tree harvesting session to gather birch wood? I mean, the answer is yes, of course I could. It's my world, I can do what I want, but I don't want to, because we will need birch wood for other things, I'm sure, like I've said with the dark oak and the spruce, to justify my levels of derangement, because no one else does this. I know you just gather what wood you need and then go about your day, but no, for some reason I've got it in my head I have to use a full axe's durability gathering the wood type, and so that's what I'm doing. And I don't think the axe has enough durability to take out this entire birch forest like we did with the dark oak. I think there are too many trees, and from what I've seen, it's quite a large biome, larger than the dark oak biome that we came across. And so this time I should end up having only 1 durability on my axe when you next see me. Okay, here I am in the future, which is now your present. I have made good on our assurance of getting an axe with 1 durability remaining out of 1561. Let me tell you, I've been chopping wood for a long time. Let me show you the spoils of war. So we have this large chest, which in itself is amazing, and it's full of birch logs, completely stacked of course. Then we have a second large chest full of birch logs, surprise. And then, you guessed it, another large chest of birch logs. But that's not it. Almost a 4th large chest full of, well, maybe not full, but, you know, getting on for half a large chest of birch logs. And you might be thinking, well, how did I do that on a single axe? And let me tell you, this axe has mending. So any chance I got, whenever I saw coal, I would mine it with my axe in my offhand. Every time I saw a hostile mob, I would kill it using my axe. Every time I saw a sheep, a cow, a chicken or a pig, I would kill it using my axe. I think you're starting to get the picture. Everything I could kill that would get me XP, or anything I could do to get XP while I was out chopping birch logs, I would do in order to repair my axe. Now that was, again, like with the spruce logs and like with the dark oak logs, a slightly delusional thing to do, because it meant we ended up getting way more birch logs than I need, which I knew was going to be the picture anyway, because that's what I was aiming for. But it meant our session was a lot longer than originally intended. I mean, it's gone on for several hours. And as we rode back to what was the birch forest, as you can see, a lot of the birch trees have now been removed. If it wasn't for the other foliage and other plants here growing in the area, it would look quite a barren landscape now. But if you remember, this entire hillside was full of birch trees, and all of that area there was birch trees, all of that area was birch trees, all of that area was birch trees. I mean, it's lucky the birch forest wasn't like the dark oak forest and ran out. It just kept going and going, and you can see it in the background there. There's still hundreds of birch trees, and that's not even the half of it. It spreads on for miles. Miles not really being a unit of measurement that's often used in Minecraft. There are also a few things I want to show to you that I found along the way. So this stretch of water flows between what was was the birch forest. Well, I suppose it still is a birch forest, but the now decreased in size birch forest, and my base, which is not this pillar you may be able to see on screen here of blocks, but a bit further on back at our island, where we have another pillar going down to an amethyst geode, which coincidentally, this one here you can see just coming into view on your screen. I'm just swimming up to it. Bloody blah, 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 blah. There we go. This goes down to the bottom of the ocean to another amethyst geode I found. Now, I found this while I was going back and forth between the forest and our island. And I saw it down here and I thought, that looks kind of like an amethyst geode. Let me go and check it out. So I swam down to the bottom of the ocean and lo and behold, it's an amethyst geode. Who would have thought? And so, not to forget that it's there, I just put this pillar in place so that if we wanted to maybe, I don't know, build around this and then drain the water, I would have a third amethyst geode we could collect shards from, and ultimately amethyst blocks. Plus, not only that, this amethyst geode down there is close to an ocean monument. Now, I don't want to get too close because I don't want to get hit with mining fatigue, but there you go, you can see it. Can't see any guardians about. I wonder where they are. But yeah, being in an ocean, it's not surprising we have a ocean monument out here, which I would like to drain at some point and create a guardian farm, because that's going to be a really good source of prismarine and of course sea lanterns. Now, another find tucked within the birch forest was this lava pool. I can now take a bucket of lava and of course use a water bucket to turn into obsidian, which I'm going to mine because we need it for a nether portal. Basically a stack and a quarter from that lava pool. Not too shabby. And this is a prime example of how I was repairing my axe earlier. You probably can't see properly, can you? Let me just take that lava bucket and put it... Yeah, that's a good source of light. So yeah, as I was saying, here's what I was doing before. Just mining coal and any other ores I can get XP from with my axe in my offhand. And what are we up to? Look at that, 27. Doesn't seem like a lot, but with Unbreaking 3, those 27 might be close to maybe a stack of logs extra. Now 41. It makes a difference. I'll pick up the copper while I'm here as well. Now, the last thing I found while I was exploring was this cave system. There's a bit of coal there. I should take that in a minute. Most of it was unlit because I didn't have torches on me, only stacks and stacks of birch logs. But I did find this spider spawner, which is really good for us because it's going to be a really good way to get string and spider's eyes. Because the mob spawner we're building isn't the best for spider spawns. A lot of them will get stuck in the spawn-in chamber in like the top corners, which I might be able to show you once I've built it, potentially. Or you'll be able to see from the drops when I kill the mob that I won't be getting that much string or spider's eyes. And I didn't even loot the chests because I wanted to do it on camera. Well, actually, no, that's not the truth. It's because I was trying to conserve space for logs. I didn't want to carry this, and I thought if I'm going to show this on camera anyway as something I found, I might as well pick up the stuff while I'm here. So in this chest we got gold horse armor, iron horse armor, and some iron. Nothing particularly amazing. And over in this one we've got melon seeds, which... Have I got melon seeds or not? I can never remember. Anyway, I've got melon seeds now in another bucket. And again, yeah, that's about it. No music disc, unfortunately. And so finally, with the materials having now been gathered, the mob spawner project could begin. The first step in itself was simply taking resources up to the mob spawner, meaning more than one trip at a time. In the what I hope to be not so distant future, I'm going to get a nether portal up at the mob spawner for fast travel. I'm also going to be playing around with copper golems for the storage, so I made sure to get a few copper chests the mob drops would fall into, and then head out to a nearby pumpkin patch. I could turn a few of them into carved pumpkins for creating the copper golems. The mob spawner itself was simple, like I've said it's going to be. I did raise it a block higher than what I usually do for the copper golems to be able to reach chests underneath. Apart from that, the spawner itself was the same as any other time I built it, only this time, rather than one uniform block as the building material, I used 4 different blocks, being 4 different wood types in an alternating design that a 5-year-old could have come up with, and probably has, making my hours upon hours of tree harvesting completely worth every second. Also, I fell into the water within the spawner and through trying to get out, fell from the side and died. But apart from that, there were no dramas. And here's a look at the finished mob spawner. And despite having said how simplistic of a design it is also quite literally a feat of human engineering. And as you can clearly see, it works. So now we have a way, a reliable way that is, to gain XP, and to repair our tools with mending, which there's still quite a few things we need to put mending on. I need to get it on my shovel, need to get it on my armor, and as you can see, there's also music discs. We'll get to that. But as is apparent, and as I've already said, the spawner is now working. And now there's a few things I want to point out. As you can see, there's some chests to the left and to the right. Left being over here, obviously, and right being over here, or depending on which way you're looking. We have drops from witches in this one. We have rotten flesh in that one, gunpowder in that one, armor and the like in that one, string in that one. It's going to be string and spider's eye in this one, but we don't have any spider's eyes yet. This one's just a spare large chest for any drop I've missed out. Arrows in this one, bones in that one, bones in two of them. Well, I've got 2 for bones. Okay, well, I guess this is now a spare large chest as well for anything I decide. And bows in that one. I've organised it into these different categories for the copper golems to properly sort. Now, I've only played around with them a tiny bit, so I'm not a resident expert by any means. But here we have the slabs that the mobs drop onto. I kill them here with an axe or whatever. I think I can still kill them with pickaxes as well because they're all at like 1 HP. Probably even the shovel. Let me try. Yep, even with the shovel. They drop into this hopper, which then drops into another hopper, which then drops into these copper chests. And as you can see, there's a build-up of mob drops. What's going to happen next is copper golems are going to take the items from these copper chests and sort them. Well, what I hope is going to happen is they're going to sort them into these chests. And you're thinking, well, where's these copper golems? Well, as many of you will have noticed, we have these copper blocks on screen at the base of the mob spawner. That's for 4 copper golems I'm going to spawn, because as you can see as well, I've got 4 carved pumpkins within my inventory. So placing them, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 copper golems. Now I don't actually want these chests, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that chest, I'm going to remove that chest, I'm going to remove that chest, and I'm going to remove that chest in the hope that they just start taking things out of these chests, which they are, and putting them into the right chests. That's great. That's really, really good. I'm really happy. Look at that. They're working. I don't have to sort the storage. That's something that's always a massive pain, is sorting out the storage, because this gets clogged up very quickly, especially once I get a looting 3 sword. And look at them, they're working in the background. I don't have to do it myself. It's amazing. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Very happy about that. Now I'm going to talk you through these music discs you've seen inside my inventory. Now, a part of the design I didn't actually intend for were these 2 blocks here, these deep slate tiles, 2 of them here. They blend in quite well with the dark oak, but they weren't actually intended in the design. What I had is those blocks open, and on the other side, just the same, these 2 blocks were removed. The unfortunate thing was when these blocks weren't here and I was down here, say in this position, I was looking in these chests here, and then I was organising what would go into what. I found that the mobs inside of here had such an angle on me that they could see me, and they started firing, and there was a lot of skeletons that tried to attack me, and through firing arrows they actually killed a lot of creepers in the process, and as a result I got these 4 music discs. Sounds almost like a win-win, like I could use this farm as a music disc farm. The unfortunate thing is that's a bit of a temperamental. I just got lucky that creepers didn't explode on me, or they didn't blow up at all. But it's something to keep in mind, that if I do need music discs, that is a way I can get around it. Okay, let me just have a look at the storage to see they are taking care of it. What's happened here? Have they got stuck? Okay, no, he's not stuck. That's good. But I'm just going to make sure they are sorting things correctly. In the first chest, okay, they've not stacked the redstone dust as I would like, but it is still in there. Rotten flesh, yep, they're putting into there. Gunpowder, they're putting into there. Yes, they have added another golden helmet into there. Oh, fire protection 2 and aqua affinity. That's cool. Yep, they've put string into there. What else? Why are they going up there? I don't know. Gunpowder they've put into there, arrows they've put into there, bones they've put into there, arrows they've put into there as well. I don't want 2 for arrows. And another bow into there. Okay, what I think I would do, if I take out this chest, take the arrows out of there, the gunpowder into there, and then the arrows into this one. I didn't have gunpowder on this side, did I? Oh, I did have gunpowder on this side. Okay, that's a problem. I've got 2 chests with gunpowder. Oh, no, actually, it's not that much of a problem. We'll just keep it as it is. What I am going to do, however, is stay here for a bit and repair my almost now repaired diamond axe and my diamond pickaxe. Okay, that didn't take very long. It's been about 30 seconds. Now, ever since my enchanted iron sword broke, I haven't bothered to get a new one. I could have got another one from this guy, the weaponsmith novice, for 8 emeralds, a sharpness 1 iron sword. Now what I'd like to do is level this guy up enough that it will sell in diamond swords, however I don't have the resources for that at the moment. Something that is more than fine because I completely forgot that I do have diamonds and taken 2 of them plus a still, where's my sticks? Plus, here's a stick, plus a stick, I can make a diamond sword. Now I would enchant it over the enchanting table, here's the enchanting table, but I need the level 30 enchants. There's no way I'm not putting level 30 enchants onto this. But I'm level 8, so that is a no-go. If only we had the newly constructed means of gathering XP. Level 30 achieved. Well, level 38 to be exact. And now with the power of enchanting, I've put in the wrong tool. Like I was saying, the power of enchanting and lapis, we can get fire aspect 2 plus sharpness 3. That's not bad. And with the last 31 emeralds to our name, we can't buy a mending book. That is sad times. That is sad, sad times. That might be something we're going to have to work on. But for now, that is going to be it. I don't know if I said as well, I've got my second dog over from the tree farm. I got him in a boat and then boated him over. Don't know if I said that. If I did say that, then yeah, there's not much more to say. But there it is, that's our mob spawner done. Our fully functioning mob spawner, and now we have a means to gather as much XP as we want. Meaning levels for enchanting and for repairing tools and armour, which I do need to get mending on our armour. But that can be for a future time. For now, that's going to be it. Alright, bye.